Are you getting a little nervous about the exchanges? Well, I am too. And today we're going to cover how to buy Algorand without using the exchanges. Stay tuned for Frugal BC. Hey, what's up, guys? Frugal BC, and today we're going to talk about how to buy Algorand without exchanges. You know, the exchanges have been making me a little nervous lately. We've had, obviously, you know what happened with Celsius and Voyager, and now even Coinbase had some problems. So I've been thinking like it might be a good time to learn how to buy Algorand right from your LGO wallet. There's a way to do it. We are going to explore it today. Honestly, I've never done it before. I want to come into this thing fresh so that you see what it's like as a new user and how to do it. And we're going to figure it out together. So we'll get right into that. Before we do that, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button and subscribe to the channel so you can see more Frugal BC videos. We cover Algorand and other blockchains. My main thing here is we do the experiment and we show you how it goes, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because I don't want to sugarcoat anything. I want you guys to see all the good parts, the bad parts, and get a real sense of like what each project can do, what its limitations are, what its potential pitfalls are, et cetera, et cetera. So we don't hype things, we just do the experiments. And that is what we're going to do today. So I've got my LGO wallet pulled up, and otherwise I'm coming into it completely fresh. Obviously, if I have to enter, I don't know if I have to enter my credit card. I might have to, or I might not be able to do it today. So this might be a two-parter. We'll see. Maybe it's or maybe it'll be spread out a little. We'll see. But we're gonna dive into it right now. Let's get into it. Okay, so here we are on the LGO wallet, and if you guys are paying attention, you might have noticed that there is now a buy algo button right there. And now I had been buying mine on the on Coinbase, and there's very cheap ways to do this and then to send it. But I had some issues where it would not convert. I was trying to convert Bitcoin into Algo to send it to my Algo wallet, by which I was going to buy the Algorand version of Bitcoin to hold Bitcoin. And then it stopped. It just wouldn't let me convert for no reason. It won't let me convert any of my assets. I did find a way to trade. So even though I couldn't convert, I could go into the trading pairs and trade my way into the Algo that I want, so I could send it here. But there's a way to do it right on here. So I've never hit this button before. I don't know what this is going to do. Like I said, I might have to spread this video out into two parts, depending on what it does. But let's see. So I hit buy algo. Okay. Buy algo with Moonpay. Easiest and safest way to buy cryptocurrencies with credit card or bank transfer. So you can do both. And it's loading up here on the Moonpay site. Okay, so how much do I want to buy? So I saved it up, and I was actually going to buy 100 today. So I'm going to do 100. I'm going to get 259 algo for $100. Okay. Enter email. Okay, so I'm going to enter my email and hit continue, and I'm probably going to skip that part. I don't want to put my email out there. If people do want to get a hold of me, you can check there's a way to do it on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to enter it in, and then we'll be right back. Okay, we did that, and it sent me damn, I'm gonna have to blur that out. It sent me a verification code, so we are going to enter the code when it comes in. Sure, I didn't read their terms of service, but we'll just assume it's nothing malicious. It's probably a bad assumption. Okay, so I'm gonna have to enter. Now it's gonna ask you to enter your basic details, so I'm gonna do that. So obviously I didn't show you entering my personal information. I cut that out for obvious reasons, but you would just enter it in. It's pretty simple. Then it asks for my location. So I'm going to enter that in. Again, not going to show you that, but you'll just have to assume that I did. So what I did is it came up. I put there, you can find your address. I selected my address. And then when I was done with that, it went to a new screen where it showed that address, and then there was an extra field in case I needed to put an apartment number. I live in a house, so no. Now it's asking for my cell phone number, and as you can probably guess, I'm not going to show that to you, so just enter your cell phone number and you press enter. And now they sent one. I'm gonna have to, man, there's a lot of stuff I'm gonna have to blur out on here. They sent a verification code. And of course this sucks because now I have to wait for it to come through. Yeah, this is one of the things I don't like because I have really terrible, oh, here it comes. I have really terrible cell phone coverage, which is usually fine. Usually fine because I don't add stuff. Okay, now I gotta take a selfie. Might have to disconnect the camera. I don't know if I can do this. Okay, so you can see the verification is in progress. What I did is it had me take, I scanned the QR code on my phone, and then I had taken a picture of my driver's license on both sides and a picture of my face. This is basic verification, KYC as they call it, know your customer. And you probably had to do that for Coinbase if you had Coinbase, or any of the other exchanges required that. Celsius required that. A lot of good that did us, huh? And then it says it should take around 60 seconds. Now it was running a little before I turned the camera back on. Obviously, I didn't want you to have to sit here and watch me stare at my phone, and it saves me a little time editing, but it is in progress, and we'll just let that go. Okay, it's all good. Okay, so obviously I cut that part out. That is not my, just so you know, 424242, etc. is not my card number. Probably figured that out, but it just basically asks for the billing address, which I put as the same. I obviously cut that screen out of the videos because it shows my address again. And now I have to enter a credit card, so I'm going to do that. I got to go get my or it might be saved, but it's going to ask for that, so I'm going to enter that in. Obviously, again, not going to show you that, but we'll catch up on the next screen. Okay, so I entered my card number. I only have one credit card, and it's the only one I use. And what happened is I put my card in, and it's an invalid card number, and then it gives you a little message, as it says now, but it gave a little message saying that the card is likely to fail, and it actually wouldn't even let me try. It asked me to do a different card, and I don't want to do, well, I guess I could try my so maybe I'm going to try next. I'm going to try my debit card. I don't really use it as a debit card though, so I really don't know if it's gonna work, but we'll give it a shot. Okay, so I tried my checking account's debit card, and it does appear to work. Now it wants my wallet address, which obviously I have, so I'm gonna enter that in. Okay, so they ask you if it's safe to use, and I said yes. Now you click a little button. You can't see any of, okay, I can't see any of my details on the screen. The $100 thing is still here. It's now 260 algo. Remember, it was like 259, I think. So, okay, pay $100, which is actually, that's where I wanted to take it. I didn't want to take it on my credit card anyway. So it's doing a little ID check right now. That's interesting. Boy, if this works, it'll be pretty cool. Let's see, ordered, verified, processing right now. So let's see if it actually processes. I was about to think this was going to be a fail video because the credit card didn't work, but the debit card did, which I thought, it did say on the bottom that it had a 35% chance, better chance of working. And I wasn't really sure because I don't use my card as a debit card almost ever. I mostly just use it to get cash out of the bank. I actually I wanted to use the bank. I didn't want to use the card anyway, but I could have. All right, so I might speed this up a little bit. Okay, so I paused it. It tells you that it could take a few minutes to like a few hours. So I'm going to pause the video and come back and let you know when it's done and how it went. But for right now, we're not going to sit there and watch it because it could be literally hours. I think we will be right back. Okay, so it is the next day. It actually took about 8 minutes from the time I placed my order to the time I got it. So it was just long enough that I was like, well, maybe I should wait and finish this video up the next day. So it is the next day that I'm recording this, but it actually only took 8 minutes. The algo's in my wallet. and I was able to do it without using any exchange. So overall, I'd say the Moonpay process, once you set it up, is probably pretty painless. I thought it was interesting that it worked better on my debit card than my credit card, which I almost never use as a debit card. I only use it as an ATM card for the most part, but it did work, so that's pretty cool. And so you might have problems if you're trying to use your credit card. Just so you know, I prefer, that's how I had it when I did Coinbase. I had it coming out of my bank account as well. It's just easier for me to keep track, and I always keep a pretty good cushion in there, so I never have a problem with overdrafts or anything. And so far, I'm pretty happy. So downsides are, I hated to have to do one more KYC thing. I usually try to avoid stuff with KYC for the most part. I mean, obviously, with crypto, at some point you're going to use it in one way or another. It was interesting too, because if I buy crypto, I have to use KYC, but if I buy something, some gizmo with my credit card, then I'm totally fine. It's kind of weird, right? But rules are rules, I guess, in the financial market. So it is what it is. Yeah, pretty happy with it overall, and that is a way to stay off of exchanges if you want to not buy algo and be in the Algorand ecosystem and not use exchanges at all. So I'm probably going to buy all my algo from this way from now on. And as you know, you can buy now. What you can do is you can buy algo, and if you want to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, you can just buy the Algorand version of those assets. If you don't want to actually, if you just want them for the investment part and not actually want to use them for anything, which if I'm going to send money to someone, I hope they'd have algo, so I can just send them algo instead. A lot easier. Yeah, what do you, so but you can buy, if you want to use Ethereum for Ethereum projects, you can always get it back to an exchange simply by sending the algo to the exchange and then converting to Ethereum. The fees will be much more minimal if you sending it there, but then obviously if you're doing something on Ethereum, you're going to pay a lot of money for that. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, what do you guys think about this process? How do you feel about the exchanges these days? Are you interested in this? I think it's a good idea. This is what I'm going to be doing, but from now on, I think. But curious to hear what you have to say. Coinbase, I think Coinbase is probably safe, but even the fact that they were potentially in danger of bankruptcy made me kind of nervous. And I don't like that they can control, they can still control the ins and outs. Like I said, at some point, they just were not letting me convert my Bitcoin to Algorand, which was really frustrating. So love to hear your thoughts, guys. Leave it in the comments below. As always, I'm Frugal BC. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the future.